Hello, my name's Gillian Jones-Williams and welcome to my short video in celebration of International Women's Week and of course International Women's Day, which is on Sunday the 8th of March. The theme for International Women's Day this year is Each for Equal, and there's even a pose this year, and around the world you'll see people posing like this, which is the Each for Equal sign. But what does each for equal actually mean? I've been thinking about this a lot, and I know that there are many initiatives from the government, from organisations going on to work towards gender parity. But what I'd like to talk to you about today is how we feel equal personally and what we can do internally to make sure that we don't suffer from what is widely known as imposter syndrome. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked at other people and felt that they were more successful than you? Their lives seemed so much interesting, their careers seemed amazing, their homes were immaculate, their families seemed so happy and content, they had the perfect body, or many other things that we admire about people. And yet, ironically, they were probably looking at you and thinking the same thing too. It's very easy for us to look at other people and feel that we are inferior or not equal to them. It's happened to me all of my life. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and my story. I'm the Managing Director of Emerge Development Consultancy, which I founded over 25 years ago. I'm very, very lucky that I travel the world with my organisation and thoroughly enjoy what I do. I'm also the author of 2 books on coaching, and this year I was announced as one of the top 100 UK female entrepreneurs in the hashtag I Also campaign. And I do have a lovely family and 2 wonderful children. So I could be one of those people that you looked at and felt were far more successful. However, I suffer from low self-esteem, and I've suffered from low self-esteem all of my life. It began when I was a child, and my mother was a chronic manic depressive. So for those of you out there who have people in your family or friends who are bipolar, you'll understand what it feels like to live in that environment. Because of my childhood, I was brought up with many messages instilled. I was fat, I was ugly, I was stupid. And I took those with me throughout the whole of my life. Until, and we'll come to that in a minute. Because I had a very turbulent childhood, I left school at 16 with just a handful of what we called in those days O-levels, and I didn't go to college and I didn't go to university. So you can imagine now I'm working in a business, standing up in front of people every single day with low self-esteem and actually being less educated than the majority of people that I was talking to. And low self-esteem is a very, very difficult thing to work with because it hits you on a daily basis, never knowing quite when or how bad it's going to be. And so I spent most of my life searching for a cure for low self-esteem until one day I had a revelation, and that revelation was that there is no cure. There are simply strategies, and if you apply these strategies, they can really, really help you. So that's what I would like to talk to you about in this video, how we can program our mind, how we can think differently to be able to feel equal to other people and to really manage our mental well-being. So today I was listening on the radio this morning to a Lewis Capaldi track, Before You Go, and the words it said was, "It kills me how your mind can make you feel so worthless." And it's amazing how this wonderful, powerful brain that we have can sometimes be programmed into making us feel that way. So the first thing I had to learn was that I was in charge of my brain. It wasn't the master of me, and I could program it to feel differently. And once I started to learn these techniques, it meant that I found that I was able to cope with those situations where my low self-esteem was getting in the way of my success. Often we are held back by our limiting beliefs. Beliefs that other people in the room will have more to add to a meeting, will have better ideas, are more senior, are cleverer than us. But a limiting belief is simply that, a belief that you hold, that you have created, that you can change. Imagine what it would be like if you could create a new belief. A belief that you were equal to everybody in the room. A belief that you had just as great ideas as other people. What if you were to create a belief that you were confident? What if you were able to create a belief that actually you liked who you were and you were a good person? That's the difference when we start to manage our internal beliefs. At any given time in any day, we have the ability to choose how we feel. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way because when a feeling hits us, it can be quite strong, but we do have the ability to be able to choose to feel differently. And harnessing that ability is really what starts to help us to feel differently. When you do that, life starts to feel far more fulfilling. We run a women's development programme called RISE, and within that programme we developed a model called Elevate, which is the 8 traits of successful women. Of course, one of those traits is about beliefs and how you change them, but there are 2 other beliefs in there which I think are also critical. One of those is about self-sustainability. Because how can you truly enjoy life and feel good about yourself if you're not looking after yourself? And as women, sometimes we have so many pressures on us. We have the family, we have work, perhaps we have parents that we have to take care of. And because of that, we start to feel guilty when we spend time on ourselves. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of time. It might just be time to relax and think, to do some mindfulness, or to have some fun with people we love being around. But again, it's critical to program our brain to feel that we are worth spending the time on. So what's my message to you this International Women's Week? Well, if you want to be the best that you can possibly be, if you want to feel equal, we really need to manage those little voices in our head. We need to change the way we think about ourselves. We need to nourish ourselves, our mind, our body and our spirit. Spend time with people who we love and who make us feel good. And what I'd like you to do this week is to really take time to celebrate you, that unique person who may be perfectly flawed, but still is incredible. Have a great International Women's Week.